Water does not a tater make, indeed. Indeed. Verily. Okay. Alright, let's have a quick recap of what we got. So, over here, we have got desalination plants producing all of the water. Actually, let me... there we go. I just wanted the system to run for a moment so it would fill things up. We've got a place to dump wastewater here, and the wastewater also from the settlement comes out this way. We're no longer dumping wastewater into the ocean. Hooray! Hooray for us, not polluting the ocean. But what is happening... Also, is the audio okay? Can you actually hear the music? We are now recycling the wastewater. This is the clean water going into the main area back here. Do I allow them to pick up from here? Yes, I allow them to export from this building, but this one I don't, so there's always a massive tank reserved to the citizens. We take some solid, some fuel gas, also coal, wherever possible, and biomass as well, and we burn that down here in order to generate the steam to run the desalinators. We produce a little bit of chlorine from the brine. We also produce actual salt from the brine when needed. These are then made available for pickup and use elsewhere if needed. We bring in sand, and then we send that down here to the wastewater treatment plant. This is producing currently sludge. Not the best thing in the universe, but it is a thing in the universe that we can use in an aerobic digester to create fuel gas and some compost. So basically turning taters into more land upon which to grow more taters, to make more taters, to make more land, to make more taters, to fill more craters. So on and so forth, forever and ever and ever. We dump the sludge down here and then that gets added into the whole system. The bread is coming up this way. We're actually giving our peeps some good food. Let's have a look. What types of foods are we feeding our peeps currently? They have got vegetables, taters obviously, eggs, meat, corn and bread. That's quite a varied diet, I must say. I'm very, very happy for our peeps. Right now over here, we're growing a little bit of everything on these farms, so they're going full bore. This is our bakery area. We use biomass, coal, fuel gas to run our steam engines, which are providing pretty much all of the power for the settlement presently. We are changing up our aerobic digesters to be able to make more and more compost, which is being sent over here, which is then fed in here with a little bit of water to make basic fertilizers. Those basic fertilizers are then applied to these fields only if we actually have them available. But by and large, we use the better fertilizer where we can. So these places are actually producing redonkulous amounts of food. We've also got a redonkulous amount of food down here, but it's just corn over here. We're only making corn, which we turn to animal feed. The animal feed then, of course, gets fed into our animals, and which get fed into the peeps. The big old circle of life, you know? What are these? These are taking corn and water and making corn mash, and a little bit of extra animal feed as well. The corn mash is being brought down here, mixed with a bit of oxygen to create ethanol. The ethanol is then being sent all the way over here, and it's currently just being burnt off. If we've got ethanol available to burn, we burn it. But otherwise, that's necessary for later on, because we are going to need to get to a point where we produce sterile tools for setting up health industry, healthcare. We're getting low on the water available down here, which is a bit of a problem. We're getting low on the water over here. Yeah, kind of always, actually. Yeah. Weesh. should be okay, I think. Let's pause things there. Building retaining wall long may collapse. Yes, I know. Are we dumping here? We are. We're trying to bring this out to the point where we will finally no longer be at risk of this just collapsing. Sad, but true. I could perhaps pull it down, but I think that would make this one potentially collapse as well, so it's kind of a big old problem. Yeah, I've got the big old dump trucks over here. This truck cannot reach destination. Really? Why is that truck trying to go there? I didn't realize that they would try. Huh. Okay. Well, for the time being then, let's at least make it so that that truck can do something. Right, so that's the kind of outskirts. Over here is our current logging cargo ship, brings back lumber. Our oil cargo ship brings back crude oil. We have a bank of backup diesel generators should we need them, but largely we don't use them. That being said, I don't like how low our diesel production is right now. I feel this is possibly a problem. That is trying to get rid of... Yeah, no, that's all okay. That's the acid there. We should be moving that away at some point. Does that get split off anywhere? Or is this just completely backed up? That might be a bit of an issue. I might need to make a pressure release valve over here, though I think this is by and large an excess part of the system, so we don't really need that. I think we get rid of the input ingredients as overflow rather than needing to get rid of that as overflow. But all of this is here to actually generate quite a few things. Probably most importantly, it generates our fertilizer. It generates the liquid nitrogen that we also use in our science facilities. Generates the fuel gas and, well, actually I should say the most important thing being diesel, which runs pretty much everything. I cannot even how much fuel you require. But I do believe that one of these trucks now works here. Does this truck actually do that job, though? Is that what this... Can Teapot actually do this job? I don't know. I want to know, though. And yes, that truck's name is, in fact, Teapot. Oh, crap. Right. Never mind. Now I recall why it can't do that. I need to have this branch out and down. Something like that. We'll bring that through. Back by one. Now, the reason why I need to get this done is that our gigantic trucks can't travel over a... can't travel under any kind of elevated pipeline or conveyor. So that's why, even with that easier access pickup location, it wasn't working for us. Now, the giant truck should be on its way. There we go. It can see its destination now and can actually access it. So there we are. Okay, so that's one other problem resolved. Over here is our current maintenance setup. We're still running the entire factory off just 2 maintenance supply depots. I'm legitimately shocked by it. It's kind of amazing. Got a little bit of wood, furniture being made down here to be taken off to IDEA. Over here we have the production of a large amount of concrete with a couple of byproducts that we use elsewhere should we need them, such as here we've got crushed slag, crushed gravel, and sand. Those are more there for emergency uses though, rather than anything else, so they really shouldn't be kept empty. They should only be used if I suddenly have a need to fill out an area and I can't wait for them to tear down a mountain in order to fill it out. I can quickly gather these loose items. It's not ideal, but it's better than nothing. We are slowly taking the top off that mountain though and dumping it down here. Oh my lord, the giant trucks. Let's have a watch. Look how much terraforming it can do with just a single truckload. These things are bonkers good. This truck has capacity of 60. This one has a capacity of 3 times that much. This is, of course, Bob. All of our giant trucks have names, I believe. Do they all have names? Let's check out. Oh, this one's called Haul Truck. That's a little bit too generic. I'm fairly certain that could almost be a real name, but it's just a little bit too generic. These are the big boy excavators. But do we have any truly massive excavators? We do. Tall neck. There we are. One massive excavator. Because I believe that the small ones can't actually interact with the giant trucks. Well, hello, Aavak. Shemai. Has the Belial truck been retired? No, Belial was renamed. We've got Butters Ray the float, Road Train the crud, the crud, wow, the crude, and Belial the best. There we are. If you dig the mountains too much, can you flood the island? Yes, you can. But you basically have to dig the mountain down. Like, this is too high for the water to flow through, and as long as I only keep it this high, we're fine. But should I ever lower that even further, then yes, you can flood the whole area, yes. Name is quite correct, by the way. See, Belial wouldn't lie to you, champ. How you doing, Belial? But yeah, so this whole area, massive pain in the backside, frankly. I'm really not happy with it. Alright, where are we making the other vehicle parts? Here I'm taking it. Oh, we are probably delivering them straight in. Yeah, we are. Alright. Another excavator time? I think so. Let's get a gigantic excavator, sure. Now, what we were kind of waiting on at the end of the last episode was being able to build this. We need an awful lot of materials to do it. And it's more or less going to require the complete demolition of this system. So, something that was said in the last... Oh, groundwater pump has no resources to extract. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. They'll just sit there for now. But something that was said in the last episode is kind of in the back of my mind, and more so now because of this whole kerfuffle. Why don't we dig from the bottom up? Well, the obvious reason is control. I can control how things move better from digging from the top down than I can from the bottom up. Landslides are much more likely to happen if I'm randomly undermining a quarry. But there is a lot of building room down here that I could use this to... I could just plonk it there, for example, then have a similar setup for copper over here, and just have the copper brought up via a conveyor. Yeah, dig from both sides is an option, yeah. Yeah, no, that definitely is an option, yes. Alright. We have to decide what we're doing. We've got enough coal for now, though we did for a time have actually a big issue going on. We're currently upgrading the ship so that we can go and fight some of the pirates who are becoming a bit of a nuisance for us. But what would you prefer we do first, chat? Would you like it if we were to focus our efforts on stripping away the old system and rebuilding it with the new rules in mind? It's going to be a bit of an undertaking, but hopefully it wouldn't be too much of one. Or would you prefer us to move our industry down here? Now that's a big undertaking in and of itself, because first I'll have to clear out some of the trees. Break the dam, release the river. Bilal, why do you hate life? Pirates! I mean, we totally can go and deal with the pirates, sure. Okay, apparently Demi would very much like to see all of the trees destroyed forever. Fair, I suppose. One thing we could do is I could dump a bunch of wood down here, but just at a low priority. And kind of have the same sort of dealio as we have up here, in that other trucks will be needed to bring the logs away. For example, I could do this. I believe I can anyway. So if I were to do something like that. And then... Oh, do we actually have any more? No, we broke down the old tree harvesters. Well, that was a bit of an issue, isn't it? Okay, well, I guess it gives us a reason to build a large tree harvester, I suppose. Do we have any more components going in here? I actually don't think we do. This requires... Yeah, we don't have electronics yet. Okay, I'm going to cancel this then. And we'll just switch over to making this. We can easily make that one out of the necessary components. So we're going to need to bring along the vehicle parts 2s. Right now, vehicle part 2s are simply being sent over into this. So I need a new route for vehicle part 2s to come down here. It's getting a little bit of a pain in the bum, actually. But I think we can squeeze it in, you know, all spaghetti-like. We will channel the spaghetti. We'll go for a flat balancer. I will prioritize taking stuff out to the Tier 3 vehicle part manufacturing. Actually, let's take this up to something like that. A little bit further then. All the way down. here. And then in. Thankfully, we do actually have quite a lot of materials just sitting around because we've been saving up to set up the steel foundry. Or rather, the much expanded iron and steel foundry. We have pipes. You can do literal spaghetti. It's true. We can. Hey, Rex Noctis. Thank you very much for the 38 months, mate. Right. That one should get the delivery of the components it needs on an ongoing basis. Well, if we're going to be digging up from the bottom... Well, we still need to get rid of the trees first. Before anything else. How much does it cost to build these gigantic ones? A decent amount, but it's not awful. Okay, here's going to be a funny thing. If I have to slap that there, and then this down the front, I can have the tiny warehouse feeding the larger warehouse for people to come and pick stuff up. This will be for trees, or other wood. Truck export will be on, but import will be off. And we can just quick deliver that. This one will be for wood. Import will be on, export will be off. And once again, quick build it. There we are. And once this is... Well, actually, if I tell it to keep these materials there, it should be okay. But I'm kind of banking on being able to designate a delivery route for my tree harvester. If I can't, then this isn't going to actually work out the way I'm hoping. But we'll see what happens. Okay. Do we have P.O. Box? Yes, we do, Blood Dragon. It's actually linked in my videos. Or, well, rather, on the About page of my YouTube channel. My videos point to the About page of my YouTube channel. Now, it wouldn't be a bad idea to switch over to this instead of all of these. Relatively soon with that. Still currently digging all of that up. How are we doing for iron ore right now? We're still doing okay, actually. And we're bringing in so much recycled iron that there's really no issue here. Hang on, what? That should be recycled copper specifically. No, damn it. Okay, empty that out, please. God damn it. Oops. Guys, 83 and Wildflower, thank you both very much for the subscriptions. Diolch yn fawr. But yeah, what I did there is I cut and paste, but I didn't change the inputs. So, as a result, it was just filled up with recyclables, which should instead be going here. But our recycle, well, it's not really green economy, but yeah, our recyclables are actually taking a lot of the bite out of the crisis that we find ourselves in at the moment. Very, very happy with that. Very happy indeed. Now, one of the things I would like to do down here is ideally move a lot of this industry elsewhere and just build this area out properly and kind of really sculpt the island a bit more. Now we've got the gigantic massive trucks. That's becoming increasingly more possible for us. No import, just export. We're digging up a bit of sand over here, I believe. Could be wrong. In the coal mine, things are doing all right-ish, I would say. Certainly be a bit better, but it's not terrible. Yes, Blood Dragon. Both of us do to different types of whiskey, though. Shakaldriconis, thank you very much for the cheer. So, a good description of the island right now is, yes, there are problems. There will always be problems, especially in the current global economic situation. What? Stop making this island sound like Britain. Rude. Right. I very much need you to start digging more around here. Problem is over here, I'm not even going to be able to pull this down properly. Like, it's legitimately just not going to work. See. We will see. Let's edit the area. I believe we've actually got significantly larger digging areas now than we used to. Much, much larger digging areas now than we used to. Okay. This island is clearly not Britain. Too little cheese, that is fair. Not nearly enough gubbins. Are we getting all of the materials that we need down here? Ah, yeah, we are. It's just, it's a slow process, I guess, then. Right. Big truck's heading back down. Okay, so while all of that's going on, let's refresh our memories as to how all of this worked. So we had ore, scrap. The ore gets pulverized into crushed iron ore. This takes priority of scrap over crushed iron ore, and then feeds it out to each of these larger blast furnaces, which will, as a priority, smelt scrap down into molten iron. But if they don't have the iron ore available, then they'll use limestone, coal, and crushed iron ore to produce molten iron, slag, and exhaust. So what we need over here then is probably... Just having a look at the... It's a little bit harder with the ghosted image, but... Yeah, so one of these just needs to be coal and the other needs to be limestone. So we'll make this one coal. Make this one limestone. They should be kept full most of the time. That feeds into all of these. All of these feed their slag out onto the top layer. That travels all the way down here and gets collected there. Now these ones do the same. But one is producing steel and the other is producing iron. So these go into just regular level 2 metal casters. This produces enough to run 2 metal casters each. That's what they're all doing. They're all outputting their exhaust into this massive smokestack there. And ultimately this going out to an iron area. Exactly the same up to that. Well, actually, no, it's not the same up to that point. Over here we've got O2, nitrogen being stripped out of the atmosphere. The nitrogen is just being dumped. I would assume. Yeah, nitrogen is just being dumped in both locations. The oxygen is being fed into oxygen furnaces, which are taking in 48 molten iron, producing 24 molten steel. So 1 furnace to 1 cooled caster. So we've got 2 to 2. And then finally, the cooled casters are making use of water as well to cast the steel, and then producing steel on an industrial scale as well. Okay, so all of that looks more or less right so far. Here we are. Good. Now, can I give you a route? I cannot. This makes it incredibly sad. Oh, well. Can you actually get down there? Oh, no, you can't. Why? Let's follow the route. You can go over there, 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 there. Can you not squeeze through there? Because it should just be a lazy drive for the rest of the way. Huh. Oh, you're already on the way. Never mind, never mind, never mind. It took them a bit of time, but they did find their way eventually. I'm going to give you a couple of vehicles. Now, let's find all of the places that want wood. You've got an import of priority 9. And don't know if there are many other places that are using wood right now, actually. So this might still all work. I just need to make sure that this one requests... Oh, well, If this one requests logs at a higher priority... No, not really. The problem is we've got logs all the way over there. That's pulling from this area. Like, we don't need these trees. I just need to get rid of them. That's the only reason we're down here. But I guess having this is going to allow us to store the lumber for now. And the main thing we want to do is get rid of it from these areas specifically. So let's cut down the work that our tree harvest is going to try and do. Sweep all of that out of the way for now. We'll just focus on that. Okay. Where is our excavator and its retinue of trucks? Off it goes. You in, John. It's going to use up so much of its fuel just getting down there. It's kind of hilarious, really, when you think about it. So much of the fuel is going to be used just to get down there. Right, in terms of our Unity, we've actually got stupid amounts available to us. Currently, we could upgrade part of the... Oh, we could. Let's upgrade both of the guns. Go ahead, begin with the repair job. Let's upgrade the weaponry on our ship. We're working on new armor as well. Oh, this is going to annoy me so much. But maybe what we'll end up doing is just ignoring these tiers and just working from the new rules going forward. It might be easier to do it that way, frankly. We are slowly getting this area filled in. We just need that tiny little corner right there. Right there. That's all we need. We have to dump so much rock down there. They are very quickly filling out this area, though. So I'm quite happy with that, at least. Can you rank this game 1 out of to 10. Okay, so give me more information on you know, which is better. Is it like first place, or is it like a score? Like 1 is the lowest score and 10 is the highest. You know, what do you mean? Well, actually, I can just jump the gun, I guess, and just put it to you in words rather than using an arbitrary number score. I really enjoy this as far as a factory management game goes. I feel that this focuses more on the production and less on individuals. So it's more of a... It's less of an abstraction of a factory game. It's not like, haha, I have appeared. I am now going to build a factory from nothing. Like, kind of like Dyson Spheres. Like, you are by yourself. Just, you appear on a planet, and the next thing you know, Dyson Spheres in the sky and intergalactic space trade lanes. This has actually got a colony, and you have to take care of your people. You're not so divorced from the secondary and tertiary logistic problems of having a factory. You know how the whole you know, the factory must grow to meet the growing needs of the expanding factory, sort of thing. This embodies that more, I feel, because the factory has needs by existing. You're not just growing it to speed up production. You're growing it because by having grown it previously in order to speed up production, you have now also greatly increased the demands of just the workers who work in your factory. So now you also need to grow the factory in order to meet their needs and the secondary and the tertiary needs of the factory, as I was mentioning earlier. And I think that is a really, really engaging, super engaging game. I really, really enjoy this. Please tell me you're not going back to get fuel already. Where are you? Where are you, Tree Chopper? Tree Chopper, where are you? You are chopping trees. Marvelous. Truly. You are doing the Lord's work. And by Lord, I don't mean like some sort of deific religious figure. I mean the landowner. You're probably not being paid. Maybe you are being paid, in fact. You, because you are a skilled workman, get a wage. But the plebs who are having to carry the trees, no, they don't get wage. They maybe get bored. Maybe. They are allowed to sleep in the cabs of the trucks that they are allowed to use in pursuit of the job the Lord has given them. Such luxury. I rate it an Aavak out of 10. This is an outstanding score. Oh my lord. But no, it all depends on what type of thing you're looking for from your factory game. If you're just looking for factory, and you don't really want anything else, you don't want to have to fight things, you don't want to have... Like, you are just pure abstraction, then Shapes.io is possibly one of the better factory games out there for that type of person. Because it does away with all of the fine detail. It's just pure abstract build factory logistics. Another game which is similar would probably be Dyson Sphere program, at least until they bring in the combat element. There's also another one, I think it's called Drill Down. Drill Down is somewhere between Factorio and Shapes.io. If you're looking for the actual nitty-gritty detail of running a factory, though, and not just the factory, not just the conveyors and the powering it, but the logistics and the supplying the needs of the workers, then this is the better game for you. I never expected to find this tree destruction quite so satisfying. That's the problem, isn't it? Let us all be absolutely, brutally honest with ourselves. If you've ever watched like one of those oddly satisfying style videos where you watch like an industrial scale tree harvesting rig doing its thing, even if on a moral level you disagree with that kind of level of just clear cutting an old-growth forest sort of thing. You can't deny that watching it happen is like, oh, that is oddly satisfying. I feel like I am sinning by appreciating just the raw efficiency of this giant metal monster lumbering its way through this forest like a toothy slug on its enormous caterpillar-like slug-like feet. There's a little bit of a dabbling in all of us. Ah, Demi of Derb. Deep down, we all love watching the world burn. You know, there is a fascination with fire that I think most people are probably wise not to actually admit to, yeah. That's annoying to me. Will someone please finish up this work? See, the annoying thing is I can't even fill that in properly anymore. You sod. Fine. Let's delete it. And watch everything else collapse around it. Look out below! Oh dear, they are actually below it. I feel bad. Huh? Oh, we survived! Hooray! I mean, they survived. Double hooray! No deaths. 0 deaths. Right. Alright, you're working... So Yuri is working on the limestone. Karen is working on filling the oceans. Dave is, I believe, working on the sand. Good old Dave. And then Gentleman Gamer is working down here, digging out the iron. So, oh no, sorry, that's Gentleman Gamer. Who's working on the iron? Oh, Iron was before we gave them names. Iron Tower wants a name. Iron Tower hasn't earned it yet. Right. Well, in that case, Gentleman Gamer, you can help out with everything else then down here. May as well get involved. I don't think you've got anyone assigned to you, but... Aavak, in reality, after the harvests have gone through, it leaves a mess. Yeah, no, it does leave quite a lot of mess. But the actual... There is a brutal beauty in the way this thing just kind of rumbles up to a tree, and the next thing you know, it's pooping out planks. And you're like, what? There was a time when that would have taken like 7 or 8 men 2 or 3 days to do. My God, what terrible sins did we commit to wield such power? Petition to rename the tree cutter Leafy Poo. Okay, I tell you what, I need to see. We will rename it, sure, if, and only if, the new naming game price is paid. This price is here because you want to name it Leafy Poo. And as much as it is funny to abuse the mods, there are consequences for this. This is danger pay. Wow. If it was like, yep, okay, fair enough. Leafy Poo it is. Wow, okay. Can't argue with that. The Dapper Barons have spoken.